Have you ever bought a new vehicle and you thought it was very unique to you, but then all of a sudden you start seeing it on the interstate, in parking lots, and all over the place? Why is that? Well, it's called a certain phenomenon. It's called the Bader-Meinhof phenomenon. And so what happens to carpet cleaners a lot of times is they're not recognizing some of the opportunities that are taking place inside of homes. For instance, take leather, for instance. A lot of carpet cleaners say, well, I don't see much leather. But once they learn how to clean leather, all of a sudden they start seeing it everywhere, and they're suffering from that same phenomenon. I'm going to help you right now, so that way you don't leave any money on the table, and you see how easy it is to clean leather furniture. Okay, so there's two different types of leather that we run into. There's protected leather and unprotected leather. I would say 90% of the jobs we run into inside of homes and inside of cars are protected leather. And that's the easiest to clean. That's going to be the first video. I'm going to make a second video on unprotected leather also, so watch for that. But right now, let's see how easy it is to clean this leather so you can make some money. Okay, before we get started on the cleaning, I want to go ahead and show you the chemistry and the equipment that I recommend. First off, you want to have a good leather cleaner and conditioner. TMF, of course, makes that, and we appreciate you supporting this, and it's a great product. You want to take and make sure you shake it up real well before you use it, because it has a leather cleaner and the conditioner in there, and it's very concentrated, goes a long ways. All right, secondly, I like to have the Rave spotter on hand, because sometimes kids like to take a magic marker, or should I say a pen or something like that, and they'll write on it. Any little tiny spots, this will take right off. So you got a spotter and the Rave, and you've got your leather cleaner and conditioner right here. When it comes to cleaning leather, I want to make sure that I get top dollar for it. Let's face it, this is a very expensive piece of furnishing. People don't mind spending the money, but I like to do the dog and pony show. I like to have the right equipment on hand. Now, I know some guys will just take a towel, and I'll show you this inside of a car in a little bit when we clean the interior of a car. They can just wrap it around their hand, they can take the product, squirt it on, rub it on, then take a terry cloth towel and buff it off. To me, I don't think that is a good enough positive moment of truth or a PMOT. So instead, I like to use a piece of equipment. Now, you could get yourself a little polisher like this from your box store, and this does make a little bit better impact, of course, than doing this, because you don't want the customer to think she can clean it herself, right? However, myself, I like to take these bonnets right here that come with the Micro Mini. Now, this really makes an impact on the client. It's something that she doesn't have or have access to more than likely, and you look like a true professional when you clean it. That's a real beast. Now, to make that psychological impact that I want, I'll also bring in my spot kit. Just make sure that you don't leave it unattended and keep it out of reach of children and pets. Now, before I apply my leather cleaner and conditioner, I want to take the time to make sure there's no loose impediments, little pebbles and nothing like that on there. So what I'll do is basically just take the Rave, just put a light mist on it, just one mist, and I'll go over top of the whole thing and make sure there's nothing loose. And if the cushions are removable, I'll take the time to vacuum around them also. Okay, so there's a few different ways you can go ahead and apply your product. Now, some guys will take, of course, remember to shake it up real good because it's a two-part product. And some guys will just squirt it on just like that, all right? The problem with that, if you're using equipment like I am, and you turn it on, guess what's going to happen? It's going to shoot everywhere. Okay, the second way is you can take your cloth, like I showed you earlier, wind it around your hand, put it on, and go ahead and rub it in that way you can, just to get it started, okay? Then you can take your machine, turn it on, and go to work on it. Okay, and the last way is you can apply it right to your bonnets if you want to. Just put it on there, work it in real good, do the same thing to the other one, work it in, and then go ahead and turn the machine on and go to town. All right, so you notice how soiled it is, right? Both of these pads right here, and you could leave it that way, but I definitely recommend you take the time and now do a dry buff. Some guys will just take a towel and do it. Instead, I'll take another bonnet, apply those on there, and go over the whole thing afterwards. So soft and supple, and it really smells great. You notice I'm selling the sizzle, not just the steak. So you want to take the time and bring Mrs. Jones over here, let her feel it. Explain to her how it lengthens the life of her fine furnishing. Basically forever, she takes care of it. So that way, each time you come back and clean the carpets, perhaps you can go ahead and clean their leather also, so you can add to your ticket. Oh, and hey, don't forget you can offer Rob Solvent Sealer to go ahead and seal the thing. All you have to do is ask Mrs. Jones, Mrs. Jones, would you like me to replace your sealer while I'm here? And offer to half the price. Remember, timid salesmen have skinny children. Make that offer. Now here's a cool little tip. You could go ahead and take and put your solvent and sealer in here, spray it on, take a towel and rub it in. Instead, what I like to do is take a terry cloth towel, spray it on the towel, and then rub it in. That's how you take $1 worth of product and turn it into half the price of the cleaning. Well, it's all clean, and look how easy it was to do. I know for a fact my wife's going to come home, she's going to feel it, she's going to feel how supple it is, how nice it looks, and how good it smells. It's going to make a Great impression upon her. Now you can make an impression upon your customers on how to clean leather and go ahead and increase your bottom dollar. You know, I've always been a big believer in the law of reciprocity. I believe if I help you become successful, you'll help us become successful. And TMF has become very successful, and we owe that to you. And that's why we continue to make these videos. So please take the time to subscribe to our YouTube channel, join our truckmountforums.com or our Facebook, Truck Mount Forums Cleaning Professionals. Now we're on Instagram and we're on TikTok. I'm Rob Allen with Truck Mount Forums. Have a great day.